Hey guys, welcome back to another episode today. I think I figured out what I want to do for this room here. I figured we could do like a conference room kind of thing. I don't really know exactly what that's going to look like yet, but I thought it might look good. So we can start working on that. I'm actually going to take these down. Um, I need to get back and figure this fridge out at some point, but I just don't know what to do here, to be honest. We will get back to that once I figure out a game plan for making that not do that. And it's about to be nighttime, so we're gonna sleep real quick. I need to work on this bedroom here at some point as well, but we'll get there when we get there. Um, and I just kind of wanted to circle back to what I was talking about yesterday because I didn't really feel like I fully fleshed out my thoughts on it. So if you haven't watched that episode, maybe go back and watch it real quick. There's a lot of thoughts involved with that. Okay, I'm probably going to need some more stairs, but we should be good. Um, okay, I think that's good. Come on. There we go. Anyways, yeah, that's perfect. So I don't know. What I'm referring to, I guess, is, oh, that's not gonna work. Hold on. I gotta think about how I'm gonna do this. Uh, Let me show you guys what I was thinking at least. Nope, that's not it. There we go. And I'm gonna need some signs, so I guess I need to make some signs. Let's hold on to those for now. Let me move this crafting table inside now that I'm not. Uh, Now that this is put together. Just throw it in the corner here for now. Let's make a few signs. Oops. Yeah, look at that. That looks like a chair right there. A little office chair. Nice. Actually, I think that's pretty cool. Now I guess my question is, can I? Yeah, I can't. So that's gonna make this a little more difficult. Okay, we'll come back to that. Um, so I'm gonna have to do chair, 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 chair. This needs to extend further. Oops. Oh, okay, so I can do chair, chair, chair. So I think just this far. Well, let's give it a try. We'll see. Anyways, jeez. Sorry, I will get to this in a moment. I just am using too much of my brain right now. Okay. There, there, there. Sweet. Okay. And then we'll throw these on there. Um, Anyways, oops, that's not where that's supposed to go. Uh, anyways, yesterday's episode I talked about um, Vinland Saga and kind of what the show has done for me in regards to kind of how I feel about things and let me try and think even what I really want to say here, but how it's kind of helped me on my journey of self-growth. Because I'm very centered on self-growth as a person. I really am trying to be the best person I can, I guess is the best way to put that. Um, and it's not always easy. I don't know if you guys know that. It can be very difficult. I need to get some carpet or something for this. I also don't know that I love the design of this cobbled deep slate, but I don't think it's the vibe. I think we might switch to some carpet or something. We'll have to collect some resources and come back to it. But anyways, I'm very focused on kind of personal growth. I don't love uh oh, that's good enough just because it's bothering me. We'll come back to that. I just don't I have had a lot of trouble with self-worth in my life. I've been very poor about that. And uh part of that journey for me um in realizing that I'm not uh not in realizing that I'm not realizing that I am I need to work on my own self-worth. And part of it is realizing for me, hey, I'm not the person I say that I am. I need to be held more accountable to myself, and I think that was kind of the first step for me um, in kind of acknowledging who I am and being the best version of myself that I can. Um, but a lot of that, uh, challenged who I thought I was. And I had a really hard time coming to terms with, for the example of um, Vinland Saga, what I learned from it. Let me try that again in English. For the example of Vinland Saga, what I've learned from it in regards to what I'm going through, um, as I've got all this anger built up in my heart, I don't know. I don't know why it stays. I know why it's there. Um, and we'll probably get into that at some point, just not today. Um, but do I not have any wool? Really? Huh. I guess I can steal some. Okay, no, that's fine. Anyways, I have this kind of anger built up, and I don't particularly know why. Um, why it stays at least. Uh, it it has kind of manifested in my life a lot of ways that I'm not particularly proud of. Um, it's not like cost me relationships or anything. Like I like to think I'm pretty well adjusted for how I feel. That hurt. Um, but I'm very often angry at the wrong thing. Um, and I don't take it out on people, but I say things I don't mean, um, and I miss out on opportunities in life because I'm too angry to really take advantage of it. I guess I can use this wool. Um, oh, here we go. There's some wool. Sweet. Okay, that's probably good. Um, anyways, I have missed out on a lot of opportunities in life um, because of the I don't know. It's not. I'm not angry at the world, I guess, but the way that I kind of process my anger is easily taken out on things outside of my control. Um, and that's something I've noticed uh, from a long time, basically since it started, that I can't control that kind of stuff sets me off now, and that didn't used to happen, and that's kind of been the hard part for me, because a lot of the stuff I do deal with, I've dealt with my whole life, so it's not uh, stuff. It's stuff that I'm accustomed to and kind of know how to deal with. Um, but this kind of I don't know, quick temperness, I guess. I don't even really know what to call it. Um, it's new to me, and so that's been kind of an issue for me, is I don't really know how to deal with it. Um, but anyways, all that to say, that's something that I was working on because I don't like being angry all the time. I don't think it's a valuable emotion, um, and it's not. Well, I'm about to sneeze, maybe. Hold on. If I randomly mute, that's why. Um, but I I don't find value in anger. I think, it's a valuable emotion. It's valuable to acknowledge. It's okay to realize that you're angry, and I think there is more purpose in it in the past than there is now. Um, but I don't have anything I really. What is nearby? I'll find this stupid spider. Anyways, I don't think I don't really have anything I should actually be angry about in my life. I have a decent job. It's very corporate and nothing is real, so I have no reason to be mad at my job, really. Um, I shouldn't be letting my boss get to me because it doesn't make any sense. I have the cushiest job in the world, and I do basically whatever I want, and excel at my job. And I don't mean that as a flex because it's not. I don't feel that way. Um, but it's just an acknowledgement that I have a really easy job, and that's very awesome. No, I want black. Let's do black. Um, and so I don't really have reasons to be upset at work ever, and so it really it bothers me when I'm upset at work. Uh, it really does, and I don't know why it does, and that's the kind of the difficult part for me. Um, is that I don't understand. I don't understand why I'm so upset at effectively nothing. Um, I still don't know about the chisel deep slate. I think we might have to come back to that, but we'll get there when we get there. Um, anyways, I love these chairs. These new shelves are great backs for the chairs. I don't, I don't think it's the one thing Minecraft is really missing out on is nice chairs. There's not really chairs in the real game. Um, but anyways, back to the meat and potatoes of the story. Um, but I don't know. The kind of the reason I'm saying all that is that I already don't want to be angry all the time, and so it really bothers me that I am, because I'm actively wanting to not be, and it just hurts even worse that I'm angry and I don't know why. Is something that I'm learning. It's part of the uh, things that I'm learning about myself is that I am frustrated that I'm frustrated, and that makes it worse. It's just a feedback loop. Um, and the thing, I mean, there's a lot of it that comes with it, but one of the kind of huge things for me with Vinland Saga was um, the there's not really a way to talk about this, but spoilers, I guess, if you have not seen it, you really should watch it because I'm gonna miss out, or you're gonna miss out. I'm not gonna do it justice enough um, to really um, I don't know. Anyways, you just go watch Vinland Saga, and I'll do my best to kind of detail it. I think I want to do redstone lamps. We're gonna have to go get some glowstone. So let's go to the Nether. Let's actually drop this stuff off, grab some blocks, and then go to the Nether. Um, I think I want to do redstone lamps, though. I think that's gonna be what we end up with. But anyways, the kind of one of the main themes that is explored. Um, it's really one of the theses of the show is, he has this anger in his heart um, towards Askeladd um, because he killed his father. Um, and that's kind of his driving motivation, his driving factor through his young life. And in the end of season one, he is uh, killed. Askeladd completes what he wanted to do and is killed by Canute, who is also again a real person. So it's kind of weird. Um, but the kind of last thing that he imparts on Thorfinn is, you've spent your whole life angry at me, wanting to kill me. Now that you can't, what are you going to do? Because he's had all this anger built up in his heart, and now it has nowhere to go. He doesn't have any outlet for that anger. Um, and so the rest of the series kind of explores, what comes after. Um, and I think that, what the heck? What just happened? Um, anyways, I think it's extremely interesting. I really, I'm serious. If you guys have not seen it, you really should. It's a really good show. Um, and the manga is really good if you like to read. Yeah, well, these blocks should be plenty. But anyways, I am gonna need to fix this axe at some point. What's the Alt F3H? Yeah, that was a crazy pull off the top of my head. I'm not gonna lie. Um, anyways, I really resonate with the themes explored at that point. Is what I'm getting at. I I find a lot of I don't even know. Oh, I need to go up here. I don't even really know the word I'm looking for entirely, but I really um not relate to Thorfinn, but it's a very comforting feeling for me that other people have that kind of experience of anger with no place to go. Um, and so it's been good for me to be able to kind of cope with that. Um, because that's something I really do use it to cope. Um, and that's just kind of how it is. But anyways, the impact of that in my life is I have been very spiteful. To get back to what I was talking about yesterday, I've been a very spiteful person in my adulthood, and I obviously do not enjoy that. I don't particularly feel grand that I'm very spiteful and that I'm not really very kind. Um, and that's kind of the thing that I've wanted to be the most is kind. So that's kind of been the hard part. Um, and obviously, part of that is because I want to be kind. Every moment that I'm not, I feel 10 times worse about than people who probably don't really care. Um, and that's kind of part of it. I mean, I acknowledge that part of it is because I'm hyper aware of how upset I am with other people. Um, but at the same time, I can't help but acknowledge that I do spiteful things and I say things to people that I have no business saying when I'm upset because I'm upset and I just want to not hurt them. I guess part of it is I have a very anxious attachment style. Um, what the heck? I was not pressing the key there. Um, anyways, part of it is I have a really anxious attachment style. Um, so I do kind of push people away when I'm worried about getting hurt. And so that is part of it. When I am hurt, I do push people away. Um, and that's part of it. So it's not just because I'm a little angry kid all the time, because it's not entirely true. Um, but anyways, the themes explored in the show really help with that for me, and I think one of the biggest ones, which is what I was talking about yesterday, is um, the impact of the Bible in the story, and specifically not Matthew. Well, I guess Matthew, but Jesus' remarks on loving your neighbor and your enemy um, is particularly profound for me. Um, because it's just something I don't know. I find a lot of intrigue with that. I'm very intrigued by the notion, um, and I mean the story of Jesus. He lived that out, um, and so it's very interesting to me because I am spiteful and petty, and I don't want to love my enemies. I really I don't hate anybody, but I really, when I don't like somebody, it is not something I hide very well. I am very much not able to mask that at all. And so that's been a real struggle for me is um, acknowledging in my life, if I want to live the way that I want to live with, kindness being the overwhelming part of my life, I have to be better at not being such an ass, I guess. I I don't even know how to properly say this, but um I just think that the importance of it is, oops, I didn't fall. There we go. Okay. Anyways, I think the kind of important aspect of the story, I mean, it's I don't know how to talk about uh, one story without bringing up the other, but the kind of themes that Jesus lived by um, are very intriguing to me, just uh, as a person. Like if you, um, even if you do not believe in God, and I'm not here to say anything about that. I'm just saying, as if you just study the man that was Jesus, it's fascinating that he uh, did what he did, I guess. Um, how do you make redstone lamps? I gotta Google it. I don't even know. I think it's redstone and glowstone, but I don't know. It is. Okay, so this should be plenty of glowstone. Okay. I might actually have to get more redstone because I don't know that I have all that much, but we will test that out and see. Um, but anyways, I think one of the most fascinating things is the loving your neighbor or loving your enemies. In all of those stories, I kind of talked about that yesterday. Um, but it's even more fascinating, I think, that he lived it out, and I think that Thorfinn does take a lot of I don't even know what the right word is, but he really tries to live that way as well. And I think that's one of the most fascinating things to me is the crux of it is um, in season 2 at least the I have no enemies speech is kind of where the that narrative gets to its crescendo is um, Thorfinn acknowledging that he has gone from this kid who is it's me against the world, and um, he just feels that he has this chip on his shoulder because he's had a hard life, and he has, and that's not something I want to diminish. Um, but I think the most fascinating thing is he gets to this point where he acknowledges, yes, I've had a hard life, um, but that doesn't mean you're my enemy. Um, and I think that's really interesting, and I think the kind of way it plays out in the show series is fascinating for me. I think it's very interesting, and I don't know. It's been a really big kind of change for me in my life. Ever since I kind of digested it, I've been able to rationalize a little better. I'm still not great at it, but I've been able to rationalize like people, not intentionally doing something to harm me. I think that was part of it. Is I did have this chip. I do have this chip on my shoulder. It hasn't gone anywhere, but I'm able to acknowledge that now. And I would think that the oh shoot, chicken jockey, nice. Not a chicken jockey, spider jockey, whatever, same thing. Uh, anyways, the oh shoot, hold on, 1 second. I got where was I at? Oh, I was able to kind of acknowledge that I have this chip on my shoulder, and I've been able to take people that aren't doing something to offend me, um, and accept that. Like I've been able to acknowledge that these people are not doing anything intentionally to upset me. Um, and that's kind of been one of my biggest takeaways, I guess. Not my biggest, but one of the biggest things I've been able to take away from the show and being able to digest the themes and the dynamics is I've been able to. I don't even know what the right word is for that. Um, did I put the crafting table away? What did I do? I did. Oops. Um, let's put this back in here for now. Um, I need to make a second. Let's do the bed real quick, and then we'll come back to the lights. Um, I need the redstone and the wall. There we go. Okay. I guess we'll make 2 beds because I don't have a gray one up there. Um, anyways, the crux of it, what I'm trying to get at here is I've been able to acknowledge that. What? Oh, okay, never mind. Never mind. Um, I've been able to acknowledge that people are not trying to harm me, and that's been a big thing for me. I've always been very, I'll take everything personally, and that's something I definitely did not love about myself is how personal I would take everything. Um, but I've been able to. Oh shoot! Oh God, that was close. Whew, that was terrifying. Um, anyways, I've been able to acknowledge that I um, that people are not doing things to offend me, and my offense to them is more of an indictment on myself than it is an indictment on them. I've been able to accept, somebody cuts me off in traffic, they probably didn't see me. They're not intentionally trying to piss me off. Um, and that helps. It has been able to help me a lot. To I I don't even know. I know there are terms for it, and I just can't remember any of them right now. Um, but being able to take myself out of the center of other people's story, I guess. Um, because how I think about other people in my daily life is how they think about me in theirs, which is to say, not very much. Everybody has so much going on, and it's kind of stupid to assume that anybody's really thinking about you that's not in your personal circle. And that's something I've been able to kind of realize more now. I've been able to accept that in general, people just do not think about me. And it's helped with my. This is a little bit of a tangent, so we'll circle back. But um, it's been able to help with my. I have really bad social anxiety, um, which is funny. I know I'm sitting here recording YouTube videos, but in person, I have really bad social anxiety, um, and it's really bad. Like I struggle to go out after I have a social blunder for like weeks because I'm still embarrassed. And I still think about, flubbing up words 2 weeks ago. I'm still thinking about it every night. Um, and that sucks. It's not fun. But it's something I've been able to. Uh, I'm gonna have to go get more red. Oh no, we're good. We're good. We're good. Yeah, we got plenty of redstone. Um, anyways, that's something that I've been able to that has helped me work through some of my issues with my social anxiety is hey um, cornflower. Oh well, I don't really need any of that. The kind of acceptance that nobody's really thinking about me, and even if they saw or um, even if they were actually thinking about my mistakes in whatever I'm sitting there disasterizing about. Um, it's usually never more than a quick anecdote they tell to their spouse or significant other at the end of the day. Um, you see something funny at the store and you're like, you won't believe what I saw, and then that's it. They don't think about it again. Um, and I never had been able to accept that because these things do stick in my head, like bad, like really bad. And so I kind of had this self-inflated um, sense of myself in my own life, but also in others. And I think, you know, in my early adult years, I'm only 24, so it's not like I'm that old, but um, especially in college and um, by grad school is when I kind of started to work out a bit. Um, but the um, it's not an ego. It's not. I guess it is an ego, but I inserted myself as kind of the center of whatever I was doing at the time. Um, inside conversations, inside um, public spaces. Um, I just felt like the important things were me in the room. Um, okay, that is hopefully enough. Oh, I don't. I forgot you have to power redstone. We're gonna have to go make a bunch of torches. Okay, cool. I think that'd be cool down there. Shoot, I'm gonna have to put them under. Okay, hold on. We're just gonna go get some redstone. We're gonna make some torches. Real quick. Um, actually, we will save that for the next episode. I'm just gonna finish up my thoughts because I've been talking for almost 40 minutes already. Um, anyways, I had this overinflated sense of self in things, and not an egotistical thing. It's not. It had nothing to do with my thoughts about, I think I'm the greatest thing on earth. Um, because I don't think that. I've never really thought that, and so that's not really what I've struggled with. But what I have struggled with is this overimportance of myself and other people's stories. Um, it's coming with an acknowledgement that people are not thinking about me in public spaces if they're not physically looking at me. And they don't think about me when they stop looking at me either. I'm just kind of a person in their story. Um, in the same way that when I'm at the store, I'm not thinking about anybody there. I'm just there to do my groceries, and I am really bad about that. I mean, I put headphones in when I'm grocery shopping, and I'm truly in my own world. Um, which is something I've learned is a southern thing, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's just Florida. I don't know. But in Missouri, where I grew up, the Midwest is very, going to the grocery store is a social event, which I hate. I absolutely can't stand that. I don't know why Missouri's like that. I can't stand going to the store and spending like 2 hours there because you're talking to people. I just want to go and get my groceries. So that's been really nice here. Is I just plug in my headphones and shop. Uh, but at the same time, it's a learning curve for me. But anyways, all that to say, I have way overinflated my sense of self in these people's stories, um, and so I kind of try and shrink and be as invisible as possible. Um, but the kind of acknowledgement that I've been able to get from what I've done is that I'm not. I gotta be careful about how they say this because it can come off the wrong way. That I'm not important in other people's stories. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, genuinely, it's people do not think about me if they're not in my immediate circle, and that should be the most freeing thing people hear. It's if I tell you you are not as important as you think you are. I don't mean that in a negative way, and I know that comes across. I can definitely feel the negativity in that, but I need you to understand it is not a bad thing to not be that important in other people's stories. It's a good thing to be able to separate yourself from this idea that anyone is thinking about you ever is such a great feeling when you are dealing with things like that stress of, I totally blew it in this whatever you're doing. I'm so bad about in public, hey, enjoy your meal, enjoy whatever, and I always say you too. I cannot stop. I cannot stop saying, yeah, you too, thanks. I do it every time. I don't know what it is. I can't fix it. I cannot. But these people are not thinking about it other than a quick laugh at the end of the day or something like that. I mean, it's just that's what I mean when I say you are not important to other people. This isn't something they go and think about all day for the rest of their lives, like you will, like I will. Um, but that's just something I have to rationalize. It's not something that comes naturally to me. So that was something that I have learned from this show. I'm not entirely sure how that kind of connected with the show and with that kind of revelation in my life, because it's not like it's in the show. It's not. Um, it's what I take away from the I Have No Enemies arc, um, is kind of where that comes for me. Um, but it's never explicitly said. That was kind of just a personal takeaway that I had. Um, but anyways, the crux of what I'm getting at here is it's okay. It's fine, and that's something that you have to learn. It's not something that you can just feel. Um, and so that's something I'm working on. I'll probably spend a lot of more episodes talking about something very similar to this because this is kind of the big area of my life that I'm growing in lately. Uh, but yeah, I think that'll probably be it for today. We'll need to get some redstone for the next episode. But thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. It really does mean a lot that people sit here and watch these videos. I'm going to try and record some more of the Dead Space Let's Play either tonight or tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. If you're enjoying stuff like this, please feel free to subscribe. It does mean a lot to me. Helps me kind of realize what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong here. Um, but this is what I enjoy, so I'm gonna keep doing stuff like this either way. So if this is what you're into, please feel free to stay. If you're not, it's okay. But this is what I enjoy doing. So if you like stuff like this, please feel free to stick around. I do appreciate it, and I'm hoping to build a little community here. But anyways, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.